This one, the Aladdin pantomime that has an all-white cast has been condemned as racist. The stage production is taking place at Liverpool's M&S Bank Arena. In the classic Disney movie, Aladdin is set, of course, in the fictional city of Agrabah on the banks of the River Jordan. One actor who played the part in the West End, who appeared in Aladdin, Irvine Iqbal, he played the Sultan, has called the pantomime at the Liverpool Arena shameful and demanded an industry-wide conversation about casting. The Race and Equality Committee Actors Union Equity said it was shocked by a very white-looking cast and called for an industry-wide panto conference. The UK Pantomime Association has... These places exist. The UK Pantomime Association. Wow. I thought this kind of stuff was behind us. Yeah. Is an all-white cast now racist, by the way? Is that the... That's clearly where we're at, isn't it? It's an all-white... How dare you have an all-white cast? It's the language that is used. The Race and Equality Committee of Actors Union Equity said it was shocked. Absolutely shocked. Clutching their pearls, they were, over there at Equity HQ. What looked like a very white cast indeed. Can I just... I'll explain a bit more about this in a second. Can we just show you the cast? Tell me if you think this is racist. There is the cast you're looking at. It's Christmas time. It's the season of goodwill. Over there, in this particular theatre in Liverpool, they've decided to put on... It's even got the bloke from Coronation Street in it, hasn't it? It's got, what's his name? Nicola Thorpe's dad in Corrie. What was he... Conor McIntyre is the actor. Very good actor. And he played... I can't remember the name of the character, but he's like the main man in it. So it's not an insignificant production. It's Aladdin, it's Christmas, but it's all white. All the main actors are white, and this is a bit of a problem because it's Aladdin. When I left school, the first job I had was working backstage in a theatre, and the first thing I worked on was the pantomime Aladdin. I didn't tell you this, Ryan, did I, this bit? So this, in fact, I only just remembered it as I'm saying it. Now, Aladdin starred, this was then, a woman called Carol Lee Scott, and those of you of a certain era will remember Grot Bags from the Emu show. She was Grot Bags. I got to know Carol very well. I was about 16. It was an incredible experience. It also starred Andrea Arnold. Andrea Arnold, who went on to become an Oscar-winning film director. Fish Tank and all sorts of other films as well, incredibly successful. It starred Jeff Stevenson, absolute stalwart of stand-up comedy. And various other people were in there as well. I'm trying to think if there was any... I don't actually think there were any black actors in that. But there were... Actually, no, in fact, I've just remembered one thing. It also had a group of dancers called the Prize Guys, who are 5 Scousers from Liverpool. There's going to be somebody listening to this now in Liverpool going, the Prize Guys, I used to have them in my cab. The Prize Guys were 5 dancers. I thought, were there 4 of them, 4 or 5? And they were all black guys, OK? So whether that supposedly ticked a box down there at the Marlow Theatre in Canterbury, maybe it did, possibly. But it was white. It was a white cast. So Aladdin was played by Andrea Arnold. I don't think there was a Sultan. There was a genie of the lamp. I can't remember who played the genie now. And it had various other... I think an actress called Anna Dawson was in it as well, as I remember. And various other people. And like this, it was also white as well. Now, you know, pantomimes come in all shapes and sizes and all forms. I don't know which character should be non-white or black. Would that be Aladdin, I guess, right? Aladdin. Where's Aladdin from? What's the nationality of Aladdin originally? Is it a fictitious place? I know that the film is set in Agrabah in the Disney movie, which is fictional. Yes, it is China. Yes, it's China. Of course, it's China. So I don't know, you meant to get a Chinese person to play Aladdin. Okay, is that the contention? Bearing in mind this is pantomime, it's kind of made up stuff. It's people dressing up, it's men dressed as women, it's women dressed as men. It's a couple of people dressed as a bloody horse, for God's sake. One in the front, one in the back. So yes, it's none of it is like meant to be a represent. It's not a documentary, all right? You're not going to the M&S Bank Arena going, did you know? I think the National Theatre must be in town. They've got that very nice actor from Coronation Street. I think they're doing a little bit of a bird's eye view on China. I wonder if it will include references to COVID. Maybe somebody will be playing the bat. And maybe somebody will eat the bat on stage. It's a kind of new version of. We'll get the full stuff. It's a pantomime, for goodness sake. I bothered to check out, by the way, the racial breakdown of Liverpool. So, where do you want me to start? There are 2.6% of people in Liverpool who are black African Caribbean or black British, who identify as that. In terms of Asian, British Asian, 4.2%. Mixed ethnicity, 2.5%. Others, 1.8%. So, is the contention here that because it's Aladdin, and I would argue that Aladdin is probably being performed across this country. If you think of a pantomime, Family Fortunes, think of a pantomime. What are you going to come up with? Jack and the Beanstalk, Aladdin, Goldilocks, Puss in Boots, those. They've got Treasure Island on at my local theatre. I'm not sure that quite gets the... And that would be, and all of those pantomimes over the years, if you went back and looked at all the Aladdins that have been performed, I think you would find that quite a lot of them have an all-white cast. Not because somebody went, oh, the last thing we want are any non-whites in this production. Nobody thought that. They just cast it and thought, right, this is the person. They did an audition for the role. That's the person we want. The bloke from Corrie probably didn't have to audition because they thought, you know, he's significantly known for Coronation Street, so we'll have... Phelan, that was his character, I think, in Corrie. We'll have him as the main man, and then we'll put the other characters around. It doesn't matter, because they are actors, after all, and their whole gig is to act. So is that where we are at? That, bearing in mind this is not serious theatre, if they were staging To Kill a Mockingbird, which I think they are, I think there is a version of that at the moment in the West End, which I'm told is rather amazing, and you were to cast a white actor in the main role, which the main role is of a black character, although the lawyer is white, but the accused, if you like, is black. That would be kind of weird if you did that. That would be a bit odd, because you wouldn't need to do that. It would matter, and that would make some kind of sense. But the idea that we are now in a place where you have to perfectly represent, what do you have to do then? Perfectly represent every demographic group. And would you do that nationally, or would you do that locally? Because I just read out those stats of the, for example, the black population of Liverpool, which is 2.6%. But I reckon you could go to some parts of the UK where it's almost non-existent. So what do you do there? Do you represent, right, OK, we're going to do this on a local level. So we're going to do it in Newcastle, where the black population is fewer than 2.6%, so that 1.2%, whatever it happens to be. So we have to have 1.2% of the cast have to be that colour or that ethnicity. We have to do the same when it comes to Asian or British Asian. We have to do the same when it comes to any other group around the world. And where does it stop? Do we just do it on colour? Is it just on colour? For example, you could get into the other territory that if you're in that Conor McIntyre guy, I don't know, is he from Liverpool? He might be a Scouser himself. I think he played a Scouser in Coronation Street. I'm not quite sure where he's from, but then he's a sort of a proper actor. He can probably do voices. So he might have even had to do a voice on that. Is that cultural appropriation? You see where I'm going with this? You see the kind of labyrinthine nature of nonsense that we weave around these stories? Would every group have to be represented in colour? Would it have to be represented in gender? There you go, he's a Scouser, for goodness sake. So, you know, he's a local boy in his own city doing a pantomime. So they've ticked that box, OK? Connor is safe, OK? Connor, you're safe, mate, all right? You ain't going anywhere. The equity people probably love you. You're all right. But all the rest of you can go to hell in a handcart because you're all too white. Let's have a quick look at that picture again. Does this look like a racist cast to you because there isn't a person who's not white in it? And it's Aladdin, after all, which has been performed thousands of times, probably with casts that look like that up and down the country, and nobody blinked, and nobody will blink at this. Just a few people who are desperate for some headlines.